Okay, so next up, let's go ahead and take a look at how we can mute 33.8 signals even if we can't actually disable them on the V1. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to use a feature in YaVi1 called boxes. And we're going to actually specify a box inside of 33.8, and we're going to make it behave a little bit differently than other Ka bands. So let's take a look at that. So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and go into the settings, the YaVi1 settings, not the V1 settings, but the YaVi1 settings. And we're going to go ahead and define a frequency box. So let's go ahead and enable it. And what we're going to do is let's go to Ka band, and then we're going to specify the range where cobras tend to false, which is going to be about 33.6-ish to 33.7, kind of that range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 33.500 to 33.900. Cool. Let's go ahead and say that for the sake of example. We're going to say in that case, I want it to display a little bit differently. We're going to make it actually have a red background, and you can change, whatever color you want. Let's say, okay, so we'll do red. Okay, so let's say for the sake of example, we're going to do red, and then we're going to make it silent. So we're going to change the alert from the normal audio alert to silent. That's helpful if you're using the phone for alerts. So instead of the V1. So we're going to say, okay. So now what we've done is we've said anything in that frequency range, we're going to make it red. Okay, cool. And so now what happens when we go ahead and give it a 33.8 shot, you can see we now have a red background. However, we may also want to go ahead and quiet down the V1, and let's have it automatically mute that signal. Now the way we can do that is let's go ahead and go back into the settings. Now we're going to go into the muting alert settings. And let's go ahead and go down here to mute V1. And what's going to happen now is it's going to go ahead and attempt to remotely mute the V1. So when we enable that, give it a shot. You can see now this signal here has been muted. Pretty handy, huh? And oh, something else that I had to enable to do that I forgot to show you guys. If we go to frequency boxes, actually, where was it? Muting alerts. Yeah, okay. So in addition to this right here, I'd set this. The default is to never mute Ka. And what we're going to do is we're going to enable muting any Ka signals in the box. Okay? And so we've got it set up now in such a way where 33.8 is now audio muted, quote unquote muted, right? And we've got the visual display. Something to note is if you go over to the filter screen, it is still going to show up there. It doesn't actually go away from there. But in the alert screen, it will do that. Okay. Something else that you can do is if you want to use the colors to actually maybe highlight a legit signal, what you could do is, if you take a look right now, like there's going to be no colored background for like a 34.7 signal. So what you could do is kind of switch it to make your put 34.7 and 35.5 in the box, make them a special color or something, and then say if it's in the box, I want it to be silent. If it's outside the box, mute it. So that would be pretty easy to do. You would just go here and then you would say, mute any signals out of the box. And we're going to go to the frequency boxes, and we would change this from, we would insert like a 34.7, and then we could do another one for box 2. We could do another 35.5 box. So that would be a way to make a different colored background for legit signals and have the 33.8-ish stuff actually go silent. So there's a way that you can actually help mute the 33.7-ish Cobra falses. And you can do the same sort of thing for like 35.4-ish. You'll get some falses around 35.3, 35.4. And then you could set up some boxes here and kind of set it up to help mute some of the Cobra falses that way. So that's a cool trick to help quiet down falsing from other leaky radar detectors.